Welcome, foolish mortals. Welcome to the unboxing of the new Haunted Mansion Ghost Relations Department Ghost Post subscription package from Disney. I ordered this a couple of weeks ago as a new item, a new Haunted Mansion collectible series that I was very excited to see, and the first one just arrived, and I can't wait to dive inside and see what creepy sights there are to see. So this lovely brown box arrived, and let's just open it up here and see what we can pull out. A beautiful Haunted Mansion box. Now, it's not actually wood, but it's got a good look to it. It's a box that appears like it is a chest of some sort with some fine detailing here, familiar to any Haunted Mansion fans. Got the plaque, of course, on that side, and then nothing on the back. So let's go ahead and just pop this open and check out what is in store for us with this first of 3 in the series that will be arriving in the mail. Ooh, there's a letter from the Ghost Relations Department, and then a box full of stuff. But let's do the letter first. And let's read. To whom it may concern, we work closely with the residents of the Haunted Mansion to ensure that nothing stands between them and an eternity of happy haunting. But of late, there is trouble in the etheric realm. For the first time in eternity, it seems that our spirits are the frightened ones. In this, their time of need, the spirits request your help. And then it looks like it goes on to list the contents of the box. I'd rather be surprised, so we'll just skip here to the end. Eternally yours, the Ghost Relations Department. P.S. The ghosts have added their own messages to this letter. Most mortals find spirit writing easiest to read when the paper is dampened with water. We'll have to try that here in a minute. P.P.S. Should you wish to compare notes with other mortals similarly tasked, you will find your comrades in arms taking up residence at the purpose-built dead letter office of our internet website. Excellent. We'll have to hop on there as well. So it looks like this letter is wonderfully glued on there, and there's an envelope that will open here. But first, let's get to the actual contents of the box. I guess the first obvious item is this teacup. Very nice. Mirrored finish. You can see me and my camera there. Haunted Mansion logo on the bottom. Cool. Good detailing on there. Put that aside for the moment. Oh, got things flying around inside. Very nice. This is some sort of, well, obviously it's the bat stanchion from the Haunted Mansion, but its wings are folded, which is unusual. I don't think I've ever seen it represented like that, so that's kind of cool. And then I'm not sure exactly what this is supposed to be. There's some symbols on the back that could mean something interesting. So yeah, there's a thing, some sort of stampy thing maybe. And then there's definitely more items tucked away inside of this. Okay, there's the last item there. Here is, interesting. There's more weird symbols on here. And it is a pack of cards, I think, and I will open that here in just a second. Let's see what else we have in here. Introducing your Phantom Radio, assembly and operational instructions. Wow, this is getting complex. I have a feeling this might be a little bit too much to run through here with one hand while I'm holding this camera. So I will pause here for a moment and come back to you once I've had a chance to open a bit more of this. Okay, I didn't want to leave you out completely, so I just all I did was open this envelope here very carefully, and then here are the cards that are inside. We have some familiar Haunted Mansion residents, it looks like, some hitchhiking ghosts and other ghosts, and of course the stretching portrait folks. There's the organist. There's more stretching portrait. There's the Black Widow bride herself. We have more stretching portraits. We have the Master Gracie before and after as well. So cool. Not sure what to do with these just yet, but I'm sure we'll figure that out here shortly. Now, before I jump into the Phantom Radio, I think I will open this. I just unwound it, and now I'm pulling this out for the very first time. It is the Grim Gazette. a newsletter, it seems, from within the afterworld, a spirited and frightfully independent paper. Oh, there's more to be found inside, too. This is quite an extensive list of things that have shown up here. Lots to read here, a guest editorial, heartfelt apology, and most sincere expression of thanks to all our esteemed readers. We'll just have to read through here in a bit. I'm not going to read all of this to you right now, but I'm sure it'll be highly entertaining, all of it. Lots of sort of advertisements for interesting things. Now we're going to have photos of all of this over at InsideTheMagic.net as well, so you don't have to try to squint here on the video and read through all this. You'll be able to see it very well on the website. But I'll just keep flipping through here, show you the Grim Gazette contents. Keep going here, almost to the last page, and here it is, today's tea leaves. Very interesting. Okay, we'll fold that up. So now let's go over here and getting started with your Phantom Radio. Now I'm on purpose covering this one line on here because this is the instructions on how to use the Phantom Radio we looked at earlier. You downloaded an app from the App Store and put it on an iPhone, and then there's a special phrase that I guess is just for me to access this. So I'm not going to show you my special phrase, but I will turn it over here, and it's a little bit about the listening to the ghosts on the Phantom Radio. So we'll tune into that here in just a minute. What else do we have in here? We have Mr. and Mrs. Hatchaway requested the honor of your presence at the marriage of their daughter Constance. Very interesting. An invitation to the Black Widow bride's marriage. It's got a really weird texture to it. Interesting. We'll have to check that out. So a little bit more in depth as well. And then this is getting really complex. We have this piece of paper that has a whole lot of holes in it. So I imagine this is going to mean something as well. If I maybe line these holes up with something, or maybe they mean something else. Very interesting. Probably something to do with the newspaper there. Or it could be something else completely. Something that I will keep playing with as well. So I believe that's all the contents of that. I'm going to go ahead and try to assemble this Phantom Radio, download the iPhone app, and we'll see where it goes from there. Back again, I lied. I was not going to build this just yet because I remembered about dampening this piece of paper to find out more information. So I went and got a moist paper towel. Let's see what happens. Wow, look at that. That is cool. Secret messages appearing between the lines as I get this paper wet. Really cool. Let's see if we can look closer. We can no longer keep our haunting promise to follow our visitors home. We've noticed you at our mansion and sensed that you may be particularly attuned to our spirit ways, the perfect mortal to render assistance. Only a talented mortal, deeply connected to the spirit world, will be able to detect the haunted qualities of these objects and scan each item in all states to form new resonances with the haunted mansion using the Phantom Radio. Well, now we can go through this list that I didn't look at before. The list was the latest edition of the Grim Gazette, the most trusted tabloid of the afterlife, and it says align these symbols to Aunt Agony, we have a message for you, so we'll have to get into that. Then an advertisement for the Blood Mirror and Brooms redusting services, just a little moth-eaten. I guess that explains the holes. A wedding announcement preserved over the centuries. When frozen or exposed to the chill of the crypt, this artifact will undergo a disquieting metamorphosis. Good language there from the Haunted Mansion. A special radio housing for your modern infernal gadget. It's pointing to the little picture there. And it says to impart to it a right and seemly aura of foreboding. And there's a bat, the emblem of the mansion, a little picture of it there. This creature may prove helpful for tuning in spectral frequencies. Aha! So I'll be using that little bat to work with the Phantom Radio. A teacup whose value in communicating with the spirits cannot be overstated, especially useful for reflecting upon the tea leaves in the newspaper. Aha, so I have to use the mirrored finish of this to do something with those tea leaves that we saw. And then divination cards, authentic cards reproduced from the deck of the great Madame Leota. Use with care. So no specific instructions there on what to do. Pretty nice that they kind of spelled it out there because I was feeling a little bit lost already. I love the dampening here, making the secret message appear. I assume once this paper dries, that will disappear, and then be able to do it all over again. So now I'm going to dive into the assembly of the Phantom Radio. Should just take a couple of minutes here, and then I will be back to show where this goes. Check it out. It is one Haunted Mansion Phantom Radio. It took a little doing to put together for sure. Not too bad. It was kind of like putting together a paper craft if you've ever done anything like that, but definitely higher quality because it came pre-printed on this rather than making you sort of download stuff, which was nice. This cardboard, I say higher quality. It is just cardboard. You can definitely see sort of some of the cardboardy edges here, but overall it's a nice piece once assembled. They had a very clear step-by-step on how to put it together. Pushing these three pieces down into these three bottom pieces was the hardest part, to try to get it to lay flat and fit into these slots at the bottom, but did pretty good job, I think. Let's go through some of the details here about the Phantom Radio before we get it fired up. Here it says, operating your Phantom Radio. The Haunted Mansion Phantom Radio iPhone app represents the latest in ghost communication technology. Your Phantom Radio tunes in to sympathetic vibrations in the spirit world and allows you to listen to the world of the ghosts. The development in Mortal Ghost Communications is brought to you exclusively by the Ghost Relations Department. And this is where it says to bring in this guy here, which is the Tuning Knob Talisman. Specially designed radio housing augments the function of your app. Once assembled, it requires the addition of the Haunted Talisman to act as a tuning knob. This talisman, when tuned in or turned in either direction, serves to navigate these sympathetic vibrations. And then you can also, manually add frequencies as well, which I'm sure will come into play here at some point. Here we have Listening to Ghosts, a history of the Phantom Radio. For decades, we at the Ghost Relations Department have researched the problem of communication between our mortal world and that of the ghosts. One area of our investigation focused on the spectral sounds heard in the static between the stations on the radio dial. Previously reliant on vacuum tubes for the best reception, we have miniaturized this technology and offer it to you for the first time in the form of a mobile application for your iPhone. As communication is at the heart of solving any problem, this invention will be vital to your successful efforts on behalf of the ghosts. And then there's some more weird symbols here at the bottom. I have a feeling those will play into something at some point. So let's turn our attention to the app. I have not fired it up yet, but I did download it. It was over 100 megabyte download, so I needed Wi-Fi to put it on my phone, but there it is, Phantom Radio app. So let's start it up and see what happens. Notifications, sure, I'll accept that. Welcome, foolish mortal, to your Phantom Radio harnesses the latest technology to bridge the mortal and spirit worlds, brought to you by your friends at the Ghost Relations Department. If you are a Ghost Post subscriber, please enter your ID. Okay, this is where I have to go enter my secret ID, so I'll be back in just a sec. All right, it says Ghastly ID verified. Register your likeness. Who is your head medium? To keep our Ghost Relations Department files in order, please capture a portrait of the person in your household most closely aligned with the spirit world. Looks like I'll be taking a photo of myself, so bear with me another second while I do that. I should mention here, this app can be downloaded by anybody. It's in the iTunes Store, Haunted Mansion Phantom Radio. However, without that ID, without a subscription to this, it's pretty much useless. And these subscriptions are sold out. There's only 999 of them were available. It's a 3-month subscription. I think it was $200. And so far, it's pretty cool. I've barely even gotten into this and I'm already having fun. So anyway, back to the app. Let's see what happens. And there's my beautiful photo. Tried to give it the old Haunted Mansion eyebrow. So let's see what happens when I click continue. You've been deemed especially attuned to the spirit world. This Phantom Radio connects you with the Haunted Mansion ghosts. To tune the radio, use your haunted objects. Start by scanning the Grim Gazette. Interesting. And it's pointing to this down here, the scanner. Scan your haunted objects starting with the Grim Gazette. It's using the camera, so this is more than just an app for this radio. It's going to scan all kinds of things. Oh.
Ezra, Gus! Oh, look at that, fellas. Look how murky it is. Like the whole mansion's been wrapped up in fog.
Yep, same as yesterday, and the day before that, and the day before that. It's been quite a while since we followed any mortals home. I'm just itching for some hitching. Hey, Gus?
I reckon I'm going stir crazy. I can't take much more. I feel like a prisoner, shackled at the ankle.
You are.
Oh, I won't last much longer. We can go, guys, right? I mean, how bad could it be? Getting lost in the fog forever? Forever isn't that long. Let's go.
No, Gus. No,
Don't your hands, babe. I gotta get out. I gotta get out of here. Jailbreak. Let me out.
It's too dangerous.
Oh, what's the worst that can happen? We're ghosts.
Exactly. We're ghosts. The rules of the living don't really pertain to us, do they?
No.
We don't know why the fog is here or what happens in it, and I, for one, don't care to find out. No matter how much I miss following the mortal zone.
Oh, is this fog ever gonna lift?
Oh, now just hold your horses there, Gus. I've heard that some of the other residual residents have started what they're calling a committee of wandering ghosts.
Huh?
Yeah, and they're fixing to do something about our, travel troubles.
Oh, wait a minute. You actually go to those committee meetings?
Nah, of course not, Ezra. You think I died yesterday? I'm not about to get on you-know-who's bad side, am I?
How come you know so much about it then?
Let's just say that a little birdie told me.
Oh, the Raven?
And they got a plan?
They believe they do, but who knows if it'll really work.
It was the Raven, right?
We'd better, because if we can't hitchhike anymore, then what? Oh, I'm scared.
Yeah, we're all scared. We have to keep our spirits up. Don't let the fog go to our heads.
Interesting. I guess I accidentally scanned something on the Phantom Radio instructions that triggered that to happen. It says starting with the Grim Gazette. Let's see what happens here.
Sally Slater, there is no need for all the shouting.
Victor, it's done. They've done it. Oh, yes, this is quite wonderful.
What was done? By whom?
Why, the Ghost Relations Department, of course. They've sent the boxes.
The boxes? The boxes? Oh, the boxes. Why, yes, of course, the boxes. Yeah, but wait, the boxes, the contents. They actually sent the haunted items to mortals?
Precisely.
This plan is full of perilousness. Just think of it. All that spectral power in the hands of foolish mortals.
It's true. But honestly, what choice did the committee have? Things are desperate. More desperate than most of the ghosts know.
Is it as bad as the gossip says then, Miss Slater?
Worse, I'm afraid.
Well, there's nothing to be done now except hope for the best. Please to be keeping your bones crossed, yeah?
Don't say that! It's terrible bad luck.
Bad luck? Why is the bad luck? Superstitions are for the living, my dear.
Something tells me there's going to be quite a lot of entertainment to be found in this ghostly radio. It looks like now that I've done that, there are these 4 buttons on the bottom to access different things. The first one seems to be the camera scanner. Let's see what the second button does. Interesting. Looks like it actually wants me to go into the park in order to make this happen, because it says, visit Esmeralda for a special reading of your fortune. So we'll have to do that another time. For now, let's move on to the next one. So it's cool that they're integrating this with the actual park itself. Next, transcripts. That's good. First month, so you can go back and see the different ones you've already heard. You can read through exactly what they said, so that I'm sure will be helpful at some point. Looks like you can manually tune this via the touch screen. And then lastly, there is the instructions. So now I'm going to try putting this into the Phantom Radio and see how fun it is to play with there. So let's give that a shot. Okay, so I turn this way, and it says to place your device in the Phantom Radio. So let's just put the camera down right here and slide this in here. Convenient holes to just perfectly place that right there. And then the radio dial appears in a perfect fit on this Phantom Radio, which is fantastic. It looks really nice. Now, the key piece to the whole thing, using this guy to tune it. Let's see what happens. Just put that in there. And check that out. As I, let's see if you can see this. As I turn this, it tunes the radio. Really, really awesome. That's a pretty amazing piece of tech. If you don't recognize this, clearly the overseas version of the Ghost Host. Let's see what else we can find as we tune through here. Some music from the attic of the Haunted Mansion. Let's try this one. Looks like the cards. Guess we heard that one already. So anything with an icon is one that we've heard.
Inside and outside, and even between the walls of this possessed manor, are ghosts.
So this seems like it's going to be cycling through a whole bunch of sounds from the Haunted Mansion, which is pretty fantastic. I love how this is working. As a big Haunted Mansion fan, this just puts a big smile on my face. Okay, so that seems to be how the Phantom Radio works. There's obviously some other things to dive into, so let me pull out some of the other pieces and we'll keep going. So here's a real quick note. I went back to this location part of the app and realized that this map is very clearly not here in Orlando where I am. It is Disneyland in California. I don't know when I'm going to be out there again. Fortunately, I do have some friends out there that I'm sure I could figure this out with. They could probably download the app, take it there, and record something. So we'll do that as a second part of this in another time. So let's just move on from there and see what else we can scan. Let's try this.
Sally, do you think the mortals will know what they are supposed to be doing with the things we have sent them?
I have every confidence that the Ghost Relations Department put those boxes in the proper hands.
But have they enough talent to find the hidden warning?
We can only hope.
We spent all of that time with the training of those moths to chew the advert in just the correct places.
You did an exemplary job.
Dankeschön, thank you. You are too kind. But if they do not find it, then it will not matter how well I did the job.
Too true, too true.
If the mortals are as perceptive as we hope, then they will align the moons and the stars and see that all is not as it seems.
Well, I got some pretty clear instructions there. Let's flip this over down here. Let's see, right here, some moons and stars. And, oh look, it just happens to match exactly with the height of the Grim Gazette. Let's find out what this warning has to offer us. Here we go. There's the moon and star we're looking for. Let's just line this up right here. Keep this for waltzes next month. Interesting. So that's all it says for now. So next month's box will use this. I don't know what waltzes means, but I suppose we'll find out then. So there's our simple message to find for now. I'll hang on to that for next time. Let's see, what else can we do? Ah, yes, of course. The invitation to the Hatchaway wedding said it should get cold. Well, I know exactly where to do that. Freezer it is, of course, so let's just take this and we'll just, I don't know, kind of stick it in here. And we'll be back in a minute to see what happens. In the meantime, we have the tea leaves to read, and very clearly on here it's got these upside down teacups that look awfully familiar in this scattered picture here. So let's take the teacup with the mirrored finish and put it upside down right here and see what the reflection shows us. Definitely a message hidden in there. It looks like it says, "Beware, Madame Leota." A foreboding message, no doubt. Very cool that somehow was spelled out in all of these scattered tea leaves across the page. Everything's useful in this ghost box. Who knows what other hidden messages we can find? Well, we still have the one back in the freezer. Let's go check it out. Whoa, quite the transformation there. The whole card just changed completely. It now says, "Died at Pagoda de Doom, Saturday, February 14th, 1874. The most honorable Marquis de Doom, beloved husband of Constance, sent to a better place." Oh, look, right before our eyes, it's changing. That is pretty amazing. Look at that. Look at that transformation. It gets from one message to another right in the midst of the cold. Very, very cool.
You know, there's one ghost in the mansion that I reckon is just fine with being fogged in.
Oh, who's that?
Aha! Oh, ha! Hush, hush. Oh, I bet you're talking about old Constance. You know, the bride. Hush. Chop, 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 chop.
Hey, be careful with that thing. Where did you even find that axe?
Hi-ya! Well, it was wrapped up over there with a big white bow.
Now, why do you think that about Constance?
Well, come on, think about it. How many husbands does she get rid of?
Chop, chop, chop.
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it was 5.
Uh-huh.
Seriously, put down that thing before you hurt someone.
Yeah, and even after she did them in, they're all still in love with her. Oh,
Right?
chop, chop, chop.
Yeah, so I'll wager she's thrilled they're all trapped somewhere else and can't get back.
Oh, now leave her in peace for a bit.
You gotta admire her handiwork. I mean, by the time she got to her third husband, she really had it down to a science.
Yeah, she really had a good head on her shoulders. Unlike her grooms.
Now, you can see that right on the wedding invitation.
I'm gonna set this down for a moment, but only if you got the chill of ghostly fingers. Am I right?
Oh, yeah.
Let's That's certainly true.
You know, in spite of the body count, she's a sentimental one.
You think?
Oh, I know. She used to keep the invitation in the icebox right next to the leftover wedding cake.
Oh, now that's sweet. And cold.
Yeah, well, we're talking about cake, right? Ouch! Oh, my foot! I mean, who leaves an axe in the attic? Really?
Serves you right.
So one thing worth noting here on scanning these is the little symbols, or are the little symbols, down here at the bottom of this. They seem to appear in a variety of combinations throughout all of these various things to scan. Now here on the app, there is a place to enter in 3 symbols in a row. And this is great because if you can't quite get a scan to work, you don't have enough light, you're having any sort of technical difficulties, you can just enter it in there to avoid any sort of frustration. Very smart. So now let's get back to these cards, of which I noticed they are individually numbered on the bottom, 1 through 10. And on the envelope here, there's something to scan. So let's see what happens.
You, floating up there. Do you have a moment?
Hang on. Be right down. Oh, hello there. Say, aren't you the gal from the tightrope?
I'm sorry? Oh, yes, of course. The painting. My name is Sarah Slater, but please call me Sally. Pleasure to meet you.
Oh, the pleasure is all mine. What can I do for you?
As chief spokeswoman and membership committee chair ghost of the recently formed Committee of Wandering Spirits, I would love to speak to you for just a moment.
Miss Sally, that's not really my cup of tea. Committees are for the living, and I should be getting on and...
Wait! Yes, ordinarily, I would agree. Committees are a dreadful bore and the sort of thing that we spirits hope that we had left behind in our mortal, corruptible state. But the mansion, sir, is in trouble. Hasn't the fog prevented you from performing your customary rounds?
You could say that.
And are there not never-ending hordes of our honored guests who are leaving to return to their homes, robbed of the chance to be accompanied by you or one of your fellow hitchhikers?
Well, yeah, but there's nobody who can say what's to be done about it.
Sir, you have penetrated directly to the heart of the matter. What's to be done? My friends, there is but one thing to be done, and that's to join our Committee of Wandering Spirits. Even as we speak, the committee has put into motion certain plans that we believe...
Enough! Just what do you think you are doing?
Madam Leota, nothing. I was just leaving. Yeah, that's it. I gotta catch a ride. Bye-bye.
Madam, there's no need to take that tone. I was merely trying to impress upon our preambulatory friend the importance
I
of...
know very well what you are up to with that committee of yours, Miss Slater. You and your litter of misinformed ghouls can waste as much time as you like trying to recruit foolish mortals. To solve a problem like the one at hand, you'd need a whole host of mediums as powerful as I was in life. It's highly unlikely you found even one.
Well, not yet. But I have a very good feeling about this.
So, as you waste your energy on your feelings and schemes, I will consult my cards to find a real solution to the problem. A task that would be much simpler, but for your proselytizing and prattling. I will let you know when you and your friends are needed, and will thank you to desist until then.
Of course, Madam Leota. But really, you should...
Should I? Really? Should I? Or should you return to your tightrope?
Dearie me, I beg your pardon, madam. I fear I've taken a wrong step.
As the alligators know, Miss Slater, it isn't your first wrong step.
Right! I'll just be off then.
Be gone! her in charge of a committee. Really, if there was anybody in the mansion that should head anything, it'd be me.
The plot thickens, so we're learning a bit more about what's going on in the mansion and Madame Leota's involvement, and, well, I guess we have to learn more from Esmeralda at Disneyland. I think that's about the limits of what I can do right now, or at least as a first pass into this. I have a feeling there are many, many more layers. If I were to go through and read through the Grim Gazette, I bet I would find more. Certainly I could play around with the app. Certainly I could flip through these cards a bit more and see if there's even more mysteries. And then, of course, it had alluded to going to the website to discuss with other people, as was in the case of that conversation we just heard. It sounded like a lot of people will be necessary to fully solve this. Should be really interesting to see where this goes. For now, that's sort of the overview, the unboxing, if you will, of the very first delivery from the Ghost Post. We'll keep you updated as we venture out to Disneyland to see what Esmeralda has for us, and then when next month's package arrives, we'll do another one of these. And as a final note here, I must say I am really, really impressed with what Disney has done with this subscription service so far. This came out of nowhere. Just appeared on the Disney Store website, had a little small website to go with it. The subscriptions sold out within a matter of an hour or two after they sort of were discovered online. And then a few weeks later, all of this shows up, and this is only the first of 3 mailings. They've definitely put a lot of time and effort into creating all of this. $200 seemed like a steep price at the beginning, but now that I've seen all of this, maybe not so much. I can't wait to see what the rest of the story has in store for us, and I have to commend Disney for doing a great job in bringing some sort of interactive experience out of the parks and into the home.